The question has to be asked. Will G2 be affected by the results that were in pool play? They topped the group. Pioneers somehow, some way, despite beating G2, finished bottom of Pool D. But they clash and they collide once more in Elimination Round 4. Will Pioneers get the better of them again, or can G2 find the answer to the kryptonite? We're about to find out. But let's talk about some of these players that we expect to make a massive impact. We've been talking about Barcode all weekend. He's only fresh off the boat, and the man's made an impact. He's splashed down. He's over in Texas for G2, but on the other side, Pioneers, who started off really slow, but maybe just starting to turn a corner here. Druk, SoulSnipe, Nick, and Taulek. They'll make an impact, no doubt about it.
It's going to be difficult for either one of these teams to kind of, take that last series that they had against each other for any grain of salt, because let me tell you, they've both improved drastically in this tournament. This is going to be a very different series. Potentially we go to a Game 5, but it's all going to be up to this man on your screen, Nick, the IGL of the squad, leading his troops, and this first camo going to play a big impact.
To go down, though. Nick secures the camouflage, but it's not for long as he goes down. 3 dead for Pioneers right off the rip. Perfect start for G2 as Taulek puts it into reverse and waits for the push that comes through. It's going to be a trade for Sab. Gilkey goes down elsewhere. Barcode runs in, throws the elbow, and now Flag's on the move already. He's dropped down with the use of the thruster packet. Perhaps a slight little misplay. Will that delay this Flag run just a touch? And enough for Pioneers to get the stop. He's already gotten it all the way over towards this P side, fumbling it once more, and that could be to his own detriment. Opting now, drop the Flag and play Slayer for a moment.
They're going to try and have to slay out here, but a beautiful play by G2. There was only 2 players that spawned the Flag. They timed it perfectly to stagger those spawns, and because of that, this Flag is so close to going in. And it's the Slayer himself, Barcode, that's going to punch it in for him, but he tosses it off instead and gives it to Sab, who punches it in. 1-0. G2 Esports had the lead.
Barcode's brought that Flag from coast to coast. What a route that was. All the way along the front base, but he got the communication from the team, and in the end, he opts to pass it over to Sab and lets him punch it home. It's a +1 on the Flag captures for Sab. He drops down front base. Now they're going to look to play a little bit of defense because they recognize, okay, well listen, first Flag cap's gone in. We don't want to be susceptible now to a counter cap. The player set up towards the opposing gen. It's a 2v2 across the map, and Gilkey's going to soar in there for any players that are weak. Opting to drop down and pick up those sizzle sticks, which can do quite a lot of damage. KingNick picks up one on the Gilkey, and that could be the opening now for Pioneers to make a push.
Yeah, these shot grenades are so impactful. They're going to get 3. 3 go down for G2. Taulek trying to find the next, but great job by Straightsik to trade out 1 at least. And Gilkey trading out another as he stays bottom center to be a nuisance.
SoulSnipe tosses that Flag out, but not feeling too comfortable to commit to the run. Opting to play a little bit more passive, a little bit more casual, remaining in the Flag. Sab will jump up, and that Flag's going to get tossed out once more. They've not cleared him out of the base. SoulSnipe jiggling and wiggling. Can he get this kill? The answer is no. Straightsik comes out on top. 2 go down, but Barcode's running the Flag. He doesn't care about anybody in his own base. Druk with the heat wave will melt Barcode. 3 dead for G2 Esports.
That's how important that heat wave is right there. It just turned the tides, and now 3 dead for G2 just off of Druk's 1 kill with that power weapon. It's so important to control those in a game like this.
Taulek gets one down to no shields. Straightsik goes down. This game is back and forth. The pace is a little bit frantic. Despite the fact that G2 got that Flag capture on the board, they find themselves 4 dead once more. Flag hasn't made any real inroads though. Nick's looking to change that here with a couple of touches. Ultimately, Barcode will make sure that Flag doesn't make any more yardage. Druk still alive here in the enemy util, gets 1 kill, slides away, killing spree for him. SoulSnipe has his hands on the Flag, looking to bring it back home.
Some staggered slays there, but they do get 2 dead momentarily, and Nick is able to punch that Flag in. That's going to be a tie game now, 1-1. Pioneers versus G2, and like I said before, these 2 squads look so improved from that first series they played against each other.
All tied up then. 1-1. What way is the next cap going to go? Early stages, G2 getting the better of it. Pioneers, though, they've saddled up and they're roaring back into this one. Barcode goes down. Sab's in the enemy base. He's got that heat wave that we talked about. He's so influential. Moving the Flag over towards the opposing util, dropping it down, turning around, and ultimately turning around into nothing but trouble as Druk put him in the ground. Opting not to go for the flag return, but instead prioritizing getting map position, getting territory. Straight sick bottom middle in a world of hurt will be eliminated. That means numbers advantage once more tip ever so slightly in favor of Pioneers.
Druk's having an incredible game right now. Not even in just in KD, which he's 9-5, but just the impact that he's bringing to every one of these single plays. There's so many needed plays that he needs to convert, and he does just that. And this is a big live by Taulek as well. Those shock grenades going to potentially take him out of dodge, but Druk does go down as well. That's going to be 2 dead for Pioneers and a potential push now for G2.
SoulSnipe, last player on his feet. It's not for long. He's in trouble. Sab puts him away. They have got the spawns back on their own flag, and Sab has that information. Recognizes this is not going to be the push, not just yet. Goes back for more though. Takes no damage from the impending grenades. This one might change that though. Taulek, a couple of shots down. The bait and switch comes through. SoulSnipe comes back for more. And all that territory, all that possession of the map that they had is washed away in an instant.
Sab was in a good spot, but the rest of his team wasn't able to push up fast enough. And because of that, the timing was a bit off, and they're not able to convert here. But now Pioneers being extremely aggressive at the moment. They have G2's flag out, but they've got to get the Slays to match up with it.
Taulek over towards the fridge. Couple of shots in the straight sick won't be enough. It's 3 dead for Pioneers. Druk makes it all 4 dead. Is there anybody on G2 that can capitalize on this? They're trying to make inroads now. Sab slid into the enemy utility. Now has got back base control. Got no grenades to play with, and that might be to his own detriment as the player comes in to get to the defense, and KingNick comes out on top.
It was a big trade that he needed to get there. Unfortunately, Sab is going to go down. So they're going to need to wait for him to spawn up, but Gilkey and Straight are both staggered, so if they can take advantage of this, that is Pioneers. This potentially will be a converted flag cap, but as of right now, all players are staying alive, and now they've got the help of their teammates off a spawn. And Pioneers have still yet to make a move, and when they do, guess who's behind him with a camo heat wave?
He's been spotted out though. He's managed to secure one, dip away with his life. That sizzle stick is tanking him up a touch, taking his shields away. Prioritizing surviving here. The camouflage not coming to much, but ensuring that they do not go down in the game. Making sure the next flag cap will not come right now. Barcode, top utility, waiting for a player. He doesn't have to wait long. Fry is 1. But will get taken down. Taulek picks up 2, and this could be spelling danger for G2 Esports.
Sab is just going to play some defense here. He's kind of on his back foot. Again, just trying to delay, waiting for Gilkey to come up so that they have even numbers, but he goes down, and Barcode might share the same fate here, but he gets a kill. That's what makes him such a great player in a situation where he should have died. He gets a kill. Now 2 down, 4 KCP, and Druk is going to trade out. But 2 go down for G2 as well. It's a back and forth. No one really able to take control, but G2 are 3 dead, and now Pioneers gonna move this flag.
Every time Pioneers get their hands on the flag, I can still hear the chants from KC as it roared around the arena. KCP, KCP, and how they would love to be in a live environment right now, hearing the same thing. Barcode and Sab, they go down. Pioneers just starting to grow in confidence here now. It's time after time, it's G2 who are finding themselves 4 dead. They're on the defensive, and like you say, they're on the back foot.
Everyone on Pioneers is double-digit kills, and 2 players are almost double-digit assists as well. The teamwork is what we've always seen out of G2. Their aggressive play style and also the teamwork that goes with it. And SoulSnipe's life right here is very important, staying alive with this heat wave to make sure that he can push aggressively once again, and he does just that, but he's met by 2. Great job by G2 to take him out.
Player I want to talk about has been playing well all tournament. It's Gilkey. Not having a great game here though. Game number 1 of this series. Currently sitting at 10 and 17. He has got 9 assists to his name, so he's definitely had an impact in this game. It's not passing him by. But how we would love to pick up those stats, particularly in the kill category. He goes down bottom middle without adding that positive 1, but has done enough damage for his team perhaps to capitalize on that heat wave. Though slides in, Fries, Druk. He's on the move. Barcode, last man standing, but he's in the right place at the right time.
Every time Pioneers get a chance and open up the lanes and find themselves an opportunity, Barcode is there to shut them down. And once again, he does it. And it's the big reason we're still tied 1-1 because KCP have completely outslayed G2 in this game. And because of Barcode making sure to trade out those kills, it's been very difficult for KCP to pull a flag. But they do get one right now, and it's past the halfway point.
Taulek putting in some serious yardage again. He opts this time to turn around, recognizing there could be a flag standoff if he's not careful. Gilkey has done really well to back that player down, and straight stick slides in and picks up 2. Barcode tries to get away with the flag, but unfortunately not on this occasion. But there's been enough distance covered for Gilkey to get his hands on it instead. Nick behind enemy lines, perhaps the last line of defense.
Gilkey's gonna end up going down there. Straight Stick does not want to drop for this flag, and that camo is coming up as well. They get this kill onto Taulek. It could potentially be the cap for them, but Barcode once again trying to make a difference. It was just a couple seconds too late. He gets a double kill. And that flag's gonna be returned, but 3 down. Make that 2 down for each squad.
Camo player trying to get away. Sab hunting him down. Like Arnold Schwarzenegger against the Predator. There's no mud around the rubbing against your face here. It's a straight 1v1. It's a dogfight. And he loses out this time. Gilkey for G2. Last man alive on the car side. 2 members spawn up. Sizzle Stick goes in. Nick taken down to no shields. Trying to play his life here and doing it so successfully right now. Gilkey down to no shields. Cannot get away this time though. This should open the door for Pioneers to apply a little bit more pressure, and with 1 minute on the clock, this could be the last chance before we hit overtime. Yeah,
that death by Gilkey might actually cost him right there. He went really aggressively on card 2 with no shields, and they were able to get the first pick off of that. And as you can see, they've converted 3 other picks. Gilkey the last player alive, but Nick again getting this flag to the halfway point. I don't believe anyone is in position to potentially stop this, but I am lying because Barcode once again makes the stop.
It's the man from down under. He makes the stop. Druk picks up a couple of sizzle sticks and tosses one over and try and tether it to the flag. Has enough damage been done? Have they been able to stop this? Barcode once more steps in. Tries to slam the door shut. Nick though dives forward. A team grenade will help Barcode secure 1 more kill, but Gilkey goes down, and he was the last line of defense. And Taulek's clambering up the stairs, and with 18 seconds left, he just needs to punch this flag home, and Pioneers will be going up 1-0 to the good unless G2 can get a flag grab.
How do you stop Taulek? 27 and 18 with 11 assists. The most pivotal kill of the game, and we talk about it so much. 1 kill decides it all, but Gilkey gets the toss, and he's bringing it halfway. Can he get this cap in? Straight Stick looking for the toss up from Tom Brady, but unfortunately gonna be stopped.
Straight Stick has to make a decision here. Does he rely on his team to get the touch? He does, but Sab gets lit up, absolutely fried from the fridge side. Desperately trying to stay alive because there's very little time left. He's getting tagged up left, right, and center, and Pioneers have done enough here to win game 1.
Oh my word. What an absolute balanced game we saw out of both teams there. An incredible job by G2 being outslayed that entire game. Still able to keep it as close as they did. It was the 1 kill by Taulek onto Gilkey at bottom center that sent that game packing. And it's Pioneers who take the prize. They're up 1-0.
And even at the end game there, it looked like it was all over until they slid in. Gilkey got that flag touch. We talked about how he was having a slow game. He started to pick it up towards that end game, and in the end he was somewhere in the lines of 17 and 22. And when he got that flag grab, I was rooting for him. I was rooting for G2 to push it into overtime, but KCP, they stand strong again.
And it's play after play. Those endgame plays make such an impact, and of course all the plays, in that game made an impact in the overall picture. But like you said, it's Taulek on the side of KCP and Gilkey on the side of G2 clutching it up at the end when it mattered. The stats don't matter at this point. At this level of play, going 11 and 17 or 13 and 19 like Gilkey is with, like I said, look at the assists out of him. And even almost going positive at the end there. Gilkey is definitely showing up here, and it's great to see. He was a dominant force in Halo 3 MCC, and he's starting to become a dominant force in Halo Infinite as well.
Speaking of dominant forces, Taulek, 28 kills, 19 deaths, and 13 assists. it has to be said, Druk on the other side, 21 and 15 and 9. Those two players combining, just murdering every single thing that moved. Murder, death, kill was the only communication they were using. And in the end, Pioneers came out on top. They're looking to put a stop to this Barcode story. They don't care about it anymore. They're looking for another top 6.
And that's the crazy thing, right? A 13.3 KDA out of Taulek, and it was still a very close game. G2 was able to make those stops. I talked about Barcode consistently making the stops on those flags. There were so many times that KCP got it to the middle side. They were able to get it halfway, and Barcode was there every time to make sure he got the stop. Incredible job by Barcode, but also an incredible job by all of G2 Esports. They've got more. There's more roadblocks here. Live Fire Slayer. Are they going to be able to tie this up with Slayer being one of G2's strongest game types?
Pioneers, though, heavily outslaying them in game 1. As we head into Live Fire, is this the end of the Barcode story? Is his first exploits, his first adventure into North American competition, playing with this G2 roster? Is it to be top 8? Is this where the Cinderella story ends? Or can he push them even further? Can the rest of the team stand up and rally around him? They've made such good progress in such a short amount of time. But is this too much? This Pioneers roster has been together for a very long time. Of the addition of Nick, who might have taken a bit of a time to gel, started to turn up here. And with Cloud9 waiting for the winner of this, top 6 is no easy feat for any team heading into this. And perhaps Pioneers are in no mood of losing their top 6 spot.
The big thing here is that so many teams have made a change, and some have gelled better than others, but at the end of the day, by the end of this tournament and also going into Orlando, these teams will be practiced because all of them are professionals for a reason. They put the time in. 3-2 so far, the lead. KCP and G2 starting off this game very slowly. But who's going to take that first initiative? Taulek with the sniper has the shot to do so.
In this game, you have to think, just from the mental side of things, it's far more important for G2 Esports to win than it is for Pioneers. If they find themselves down by 2, will that be a long and arduous road back, and perhaps they're not ready to make those steps? And Druk picks up 2 kills in the feed. Straight Stick gets lit up, and he turns his attention to Sab and backs him all the way down. I think this might be shirtless mode. Druk, he's on another level.
Oh, when Druk doesn't wear a shirt, you just gotta be careful. The guy's on a tear. He had a little bit of a rough day yesterday, but today seems to be like a different story. If we're going by history, though, G2, they did 2-0 KCP on Live Fire in the Open Series. They're 2-0 versus them right now in the Open Series. This is their first time playing, of course, in this tournament on this map. We'll see if they can continue that trajectory when it comes to a tournament where there's so much on the line. 5 seconds for that OS. They've got to set up for it, but that first kill is going to make a difference.
What's on the line? A lion's share of $125,000. It's not chump change. 11 kills out of 5. And Pioneers have just started to rise up now. Started to get to the ascendancy. Can G2 put a stop to this run? Can they stop the momentum? Straight Stick goes down. That's not going to spell good news for them. Trades going in Pioneers' favor. Sab for G2 is in big trouble. Back green all alone, isolated by himself. Managed to get a trade, and Damage Control might say that was the best opportunity he had, considering what he was working with. Druk with the sniper rifle. Sees Gilkey at the corner of his eye, gives him a squint. Thinks I'll come back for you later. Tries to fire one across top middle. Nothing doing. Just a warning shot. Straight Stick collapses. Perfect from G2. They need more of that.
That was big by G2, taking out Druk there with that sniper. The new one is coming up. If they can get their hands on this snipe, put it in the hands of Barcode potentially, it can take over. They're down by 7. They need to do something soon, and 3 go down for KCP. This is the opportunity.
Sab. Not comfortable back tower. Fires a shot towards Nest. Still thinks there's a player around him, trying to clear him out. But he's chasing ghosts. I think he's playing Phasmophobia. Nothing there. No negative temperatures, don't you worry. It's not falling below 0. Still worried about behind him. Again, Casper's not there. Standing top middle then. The game has slowed down to a crawl. G2 recognizing this game is oh so important. Assault rifle will do the damage. Combined with the melee, it's a Shoryuken. And Sab rolls on.
He's also awarded that heat wave. But this next kill, very important for Sab. They're all on the Hedor side of the map, and that overshield is the prize for both squads. You see how much KCP want to secure their second overshield of the game. And Sab trying to stop it from happening. He gets one. Sniper top tower is straight sick. And look at the flank actually by straight sick. Barcode, I believe, was top tower. The snipe damage came in, and now G2 Esports has their first overshield in the game. And they're only down by 3.
Opts for a late deploy. Assault rifle beaming the player back green. Gilkey look at the clear corners, clear angles for straight sick. Plasma pistol does its job though, completely evaporates the advantage that G2 had, and grenades will finally finish him up. Gilkey drops down though, player no shields over towards the pillars. Taulek bottom middle. Gilkey will live to fight another day and back down. Sniper rifle's completely out of ammunition. Plasma pistol picked up instead.
He literally timed it. He literally timed that plasma pistol. Coach Callis timed the plasma pistol. And a killing spree for Gilkey. Those little things right there are so very important. They get 2, make that 3, KCP down. And Barcode with the heat wave in hand. Shurzy, this is looking good for G2. They're still down by 2. But the momentum is starting to pull in their favor.
You've said it. But Pioneers do hold the advantage still. Pendulum still swinging back and forth. Pioneers have taken their foot off the gas. They've allowed G2 back into this game, and perhaps they are now growing in confidence. Barcode gets the kill to SoulSnipe, but perhaps SoulSnipe should not be given the opportunity to get that trade onto Sav. As a result, they've extended their lead, but only by a little. 3 kills the difference between these two.
And 7 seconds is the most important opportunity for both of these teams. Make that 3 seconds. The overshield and a snipe come up top center. 2 things, 2 prizes to work for. And these kills matter the most. And G2 get 3 down with the power weapons up. This is incredible. And they're going to get that OS. And they're also potentially going to get this lead off of this, only down by 1.
Barcode delaying the use of the overshield, waiting for the info. A late deploy. And will that just confuse Pioneers? Or are they happy to wait for the overshield player to come? You see one player sitting on dummy door. It's going to be Taulek. Got a little bit overzealous though. A little bit impatient. Barcode was coming and perhaps a missed opportunity. Barcode instead turns his attentions to tower. Has the heat wave. That grenade will hit him a little bit. Maybe Spartan will give the info away. He's getting a bit of a brawl down bottom tower. He picks 1. Is that enough now for G2 to descend and pick up some more kills? Start to carve Pioneers up piece by piece. Another kill for Barcode. The Aussie is rolling.
That is such an incredible play by Barcode, not only on the flank, which was flawless, but the idea that there was a player on the cuts that was holding the angle. Instead of just rushing that guy bottom tower, he took some shots into the guy on the cuts, backed him off, and then pushed bottom tower. And because of that, he was able to get like 3 kills in a row. And because of that, they are up 3 kills in this game, 37-34.
Can they maintain it? That's the question now. Gilkey has a sniper rifle. We've already seen him wobbling a few wigs. Hits the body of 1. Nobody on hand though to get the finish. Tries to connect with SoulSnipe. The bullet will miss this time. And again, Gilkey's not too comfortable with his surroundings. He knows he's in trouble. Players are hunting him down. Barcode's picked up 2 in the feed. They have a 4 kill advantage now. Make it 5. G2 starting to pull away here.
And you see their pushes are at perfect times as well. The OS comes up. They had 3 dead. Another free OS for them. But unfortunately, I think the OS player did go down. That was Barcode. I don't know if they got this overshield. I believe it's still on the platform. And it is. This is going to be huge for KCP. They can take the swing right now. They're down by 4. But this OS can play a huge factor as long as SoulSnipe plays this smart.
You can see him. He's a little bit hesitant. Doesn't want to make the move just yet. Doesn't have the information. You can see why. 3 members of G2 on C-Plat. And overshield has been completely evaporated. No more advantage. G2 have handled that one pretty well, only losing one in the process, but 2 players back tower are in trouble with Barcode. Spins around, plasma pistol connects, as does the melee, and he turns the tide on that fight.
What an incredible job by G2 to swing that. That overshield could have been such a big factor and potentially could have swung this game. It is only a 1-kill game right now with that sniper coming up in 5 seconds, but it could be much, much worse if G2 weren't able to put the damage into that OS player and capitalize on getting the kill on him.
What happens now? 2 kills as we head into the latter stages. Make it 3. Gilkey has extended that advantage once more. Taulek's isolated here, bottom tower. Barcode gets 1. And now we see G2 only requiring 3, but all of a sudden Taulek on the turn the tide here. Sab gets another. 2 kills required for G2 to tie the series. 5 for Pioneers to double their series lead. And G2 require 1 now. Pioneers are falling left, right, and center.
This is it. 1 more kill. But KCP, they're starting to catch up here. There are 47 kills. G2 only need 1, but they cannot play sporadic. They've got to play smart. This is where Khaled kind of slows them down. Taulek down and no shields. Can he get taken out is the question, and he can. And that's it. Tied up at 1. 1-1 in the series. G2. Beautiful job to tie this up.
Well, well, well. Pioneers in the driving seat for so long. But G2, they sneak a couple of overshields, they eat away at that lead, and all of a sudden, they take it by 3 or 4 kills. Great performance. Again, we can't say it enough. Barcode, he's unfazed by what's happened here in front of him. He's only landed, he may as well have just landed yesterday. That's what's happened. He's landed yesterday and he's played in a tournament. That's how well he's played. But for Pioneers, maybe that's one of those games that got away from them. They made a couple of key errors.
There were a couple of key errors, and one of them was, not getting these overshields at the end. They got 1. And I was hoping that maybe SoulSnipe would back up there towards, the OS side, maybe jump on scoreboard to top center, get himself a little bit of an angle and push with his squad. But he pushed really aggressively, and nades came through to Cuts. Like, Cuts is not the place you want to be if you have that OS, but it has to do with that man on your screen. You just saw Barcode. There was so many situations where I pointed out one where, he's pushing a player and he's able to take that 2v1 because he understands that there's always going to be a cross player watching the player you want to push. That player is obviously calling out, hey, I need some help. Their back tower. He's aware of that, gets that player off that angle, and then just pushes freely. Like Barcode, I am very impressed with this man's play, and I cannot wait to see how far and how much he grows with time in NA and with time with these great players on his team and great players in the HCS in general. It's going to be great.
After a slow start by his own high standards, Gilkey in game 1, it didn't all go his way, but game 2, didn't he just turn up? 15 kills, 9 deaths, and the 4 assists with a 7.3 KDA, better than anybody else in the lobby. And you need players like that to step up when you're on the brink of elimination, when you're on the brink of going 2-0 down in the series. Gilkey showed up.
And like you said, KCP only made a few mistakes. If you looked at their assist column as well, they all got double-digit assists, somewhere in the 14-15 range. KCP knows how to work together as a squad. All 4 of these players on KCP are aggressive. KCP was known as one of the most aggressive teams in the HCS, and I've talked about this before, but I feel like they went from an automatic transmission to now being able to use a manual transmission and change speeds at any time with Nick on the roster. I think he's got the brains and the smarts to be able to realize the pacing of the game. We saw that many times in that game. It's just unfortunate that the timing that he's calling is just a little bit off. It's literally off by like half a second on the things that are being called. And, you have a player like Barcode and Straight Stick that just plays so incredibly fast. And like you said, Gilkey, everyone's just playing incredible on G2, and it's exactly what they need to do. I mean, this was a best of 5 the last time we watched it, and Pioneers squeaked out a 49-50 win. I would not be surprised if we go to another Game 5 here.
Oddball Streets is next. And sticking with the car analogy, you speak about manual, you speak about automatic. Are the wheels about to fall off Pioneers here? They find themselves now all tied up, only losing the Slayer, and marginally at that. Is that the confidence that G2 need to carry forward in this Oddball Streets? Or will Pioneers be able to dust themselves off and recognize anybody can win a Slayer, so anybody can lose one? They'll bounce back here, having already beaten G2 in the tournament only yesterday. They still have a chance. Not only that, they're the favorites to win this series.
They are. And one of the things is too is you know, this oddball. Coach Callis said this is one of G2's stronger game types. Pioneers are also good on streets. So it comes down to who's going to play better. You know, you hate to say that cliche, Shurzy. I hate to say it, but it really does come down to it. At this level of play, both these teams have been to a game 5 before. They're obviously pretty evenly matched. 3 kills on the Slayer, 1 cap on the CTF Aquarius that, you know, potentially, you know, that cap was at the last second as well. So this next game is going to be a little bit of the same. It's just going to be about who makes less mistakes. Literally 1 mistake from KCP and they win that Slayer game. So you got to come up and you got to play icy, because let me tell you, this is the point in time where you don't make mistakes at all. But Shurzy, we're going into map number 3.
And Pioneers, we can't harp on it enough. After that terrible start in pools, finishing bottom of the group, have made a momentous run through the elimination bracket, showing that maybe they weren't at the races, but perhaps they're still going to finish right where they belong. Bare minimum top 6 if they could win this series. The new man, the new face, new man about town, KingNick, sits top A. Look at the rain down, death and destruction. He does 1. Gilkey. He goes down, but Straight Sick and Barcode combine. It's going to be a kill for them. Rocket scooped up by Taulek. 3 dead for G2.
Great job by Pioneers to get that 1 pick on the bottom of C and just realize that that's an advantage they can push through. They get 2 dead, 3 dead. Barcode gets a trade, which is going to be beneficial, but in the long run, it's just going to be a little bit of a reset here. But right there, that death is not good, because now Barcode does have the rockets in hand. And by the way he's playing right now, look at this man. You can just tell the energy is high. He is very confident in his play style. I want to watch a lot of him in this game because he's starting off strong and he's going to continue to be strong in this game.
Elsewhere, on the A stream, twitch.tv/Halo, E United have just gone 2-1 up against FaZe. The Spartan Ryan Noob rivalry reignited in this tournament after they parted ways. But back here, Gilkey with the Bulldog tries to get away driveway. There's a roadblock there. Pavement not quite solid. Cement hasn't dried. He will get eliminated. 18 points to 10 now. Ball has been reset. Map perhaps soon to follow. Barcode has a stock rifle. Hits 2 beautiful shots to the dome of Druk. This could be the opening and the opportunity if they're quick enough.
Yeah, 3 go down. They've got to get that ball out of ATM, but unfortunately, the spawns are coming out on back A as well as PD, so they've got a little bit of a split spawn here, but it's in their favor because they're going to be able to watch different angles on the map. You see Druk already gets a kill there, and those rockets are coming up once again as well. Barcode has his sights on him, but SoulSnipe has his sights on Barcode and takes him out.
A massive game of rock, paper, scissors right now. Rockets were scooped up, but not for long. Not been able to utilize. Sabs put them on his back as he rotates the ball towards his team. Rockets will come out now and spawns over on the arcade side. Doesn't see the player in tires, and Rockets will fall. Barcode will try and rotate now. 2 down. Sab and Gilkey in the respawn screen, watching as their teammates try and scurry away. Barcode has gotten a teammate on the straight stick, and that's not what you want to see. Kill the other people. Barcode, come on now.
Unfortunately, Barcode's going to be down, so KCP have numbers at the moment. But a big kill from Sab is going to provide him this stalker rifle and this bulldog. If he can keep hold of these and they get a hold on to C from purple, we could be in a good spot if we're G2.
They do have a hold. They do have it over on purple. Not always where you want to be. Sometimes needs must. Stalker rifle in hand for Sab. The players have leaked through though. He's not been able to pick up those lines of sight. It's going to be a full flood over towards the pink side for Pioneers. Sab's the first pick. It's been traded out. What can Straight Sick do to turn the tide? Stabilize for G2. Not a lot at the moment as Gilkey tries as he might. Gets a trade, but it's not enough. Ball time for the Pioneers.
Yeah, unfortunately, G2 just wasn't quick enough. They tried to get the ball to pink just so they were safe, hopefully trying to rotate it to C, but that shows you how strong that B-rail is to be able to provide cover fire. KCP were able to stop that, and now they've got their own lock on this hold and tram, and it's Taulek with the ball time. And again, another rocket in the middle It's been a toss-up for those. Let's see who can acquire these rockets and make an impact.
1 second until they're available. They have popped up, and it's SoulSnipe who steps out. And he gets away with them. Now it's about utilizing them. They can be big to ensure they can stretch this lead. Rockets have to be valuable. He gets one, but I think I heard 2 fire in the distance. 2 rockets for the price of 1 kill. Not great, but not the worst in the world. 68 seconds in climbing now. We're seeing G2 spawn over towards A. They're very, very far away, and that's going to mean even more points. And Pioneers flirt with the idea of rotating the ball arcade. It's in red room now. Taulek plays the ball, doesn't feel too safe. And you can see why. The pinch is coming behind. With 2 members of his team positioned over towards Statue, perhaps he's passed the ball right to where G2 are about to spawn.
Yeah, G2 grabbed that ball. They got a kill on the Druk, and now they're able to rotate it back at the tram side, but they've still got to get those slays. Right now, it's a 3v3 situation. These next couple kills are important, but you know, Gilkey's holding that ball, so it's essentially a 2v4. And KCP definitely going to make that push on the B Street side. Gilkey's got to be ready for it, and it looks like he is.
Throws down an aid. It will connect with SoulSnipe. That should mean more ball time. 80 points. As G2 just push over the 50-second point threshold now. Gilkey being tagged up. Grenades popping over the plant pots, and that's going to be enough to put him away. Straight Six got the stalker rifle, but defense first. Looking to clear out house before he puts his hands on the ball. He's done so successfully here. Pioneers now. They need to try and break this setup, but they've lost SoulSnipe once more. Grenades come in, and they're hurting. We've seen that song and dance before, and down goes Straight Sick.
Those nades were absolutely perfect, and KCP is not allowing G2 to rotate. They could not get out of tram, which means that ball is going to be played. They do get 62 seconds on the board, but still down 80 seconds for Pioneers. And it's up to Gilkey right now. And I like the play to put the ball down, use that bulldog in your hand, and make sure anyone that pushes gets punished. And it's gonna be SoulSnipe first. Great job by Gilkey.
SoulSnipe currently sitting at 9 and 13, but a lot of those deaths that he's racked up have been in the last couple of cycles. Not able to put anything on the board, and as a result, G2 not only grow back into this, but they're about to take the lead. They only require 15 seconds now. What do Pioneers have to stop this push? Can they get the ball out of the G2 hands? Or will they be prying it out of cold dead fingers? 95 in climbing. The damage has been done though. The defense is going to hold strong. Gilkey with the bulldog keeping his player safe, and round 1 will go to G2.
That was so incredibly played by Gilkey. That's exactly what I was looking for. Bait your ball player with the bulldog. Make sure that you do as much damage as possible to the different pushes. Even drops a drop wall to save him as well. Great plays by Gilkey. He's 13 and 10, and he's playing incredibly today.
I can already tell Gilkey would make for a great father. The way he kept that ball nice and safe. Put the drop shield down. Nursing it. Here is Gilkey now. Looking to be an influence again. Puts one in the ground. Sab went down also. Barcode trying to rotate that ball as he's done time and time again. Pioneers now on the back foot. Do they find themselves now dwindling in confidence as the slaves have been going in G2's favor recently, but now Pioneers have an opportunity.
So right now, G2's going to get those spawns onto C. They've got to make a play to push Taulek and Nick. We're holding really strong, but look at that. 2 go down right off the bat. They're pinging the last one onto Sab, and that push is going to be squashed. That means another 10 seconds at least for this KCP squad.
They need them. They had a significant lead in round 1. G2 didn't care about it. They came back. It's time to put real breathing room between them and indeed G2. SoulSnipe pretty comfortable right now. He has G2 playing in front of him, right where he wants them. Is anybody watching his bottom middle, the pink side? It must be asked. 2 members go down though, and starting to get a little bit hairy now for SoulSnipe. A little bit more uncomfortable. Trying to milk for as long as he can. Gilkey tries to escape, but straight into the waiting arms, the embrace of SoulSnipe, but it's the kiss of death that he hands over, and Straight Sick will scoop up that ball and try to play it just a touch. Get it a little bit further away and delay.
That was a good play by Straight Sick. Very good play by Straightsick to put that ball in an open position right there. The Rockets are coming up in 3 seconds as well, but my biggest thing right there is that, you know, you have a 3-man push on this Pioneers roster, but you're essentially kind of throwing your life away. You get 3 dead, and then SoulSnipe, the last player alive, just able to get clean-up kills. You gotta wait for those shields to come back up. That's the last guy on the C. You can block PD, but unfortunately, G2 get a little bit scrappy, and they end up going down for him. Because of that, right now, we're looking at a large lead for this KCP.
63-9 to be exact. Kill for Straightsick, and kill for Gilkey. And that will mean 2 dead for Pioneers. It's an opportunity now, a chance to really eat away at that lead. They've got hands on the ball, but grenades are coming from the back cafe side. That's where the Pioneers push is coming from. SoulSnipe. Here comes Druk, but he's soared past and prioritized getting the trade instead. Tunnel vision to clear his corners. 2 members of Pioneers soar up bottom middle. But this is a scrap. This is a war.
Had to go down momentarily. But I get the push from Planners comes through. Straightsick on that cross right now in Cafe, but that's not going to save your Sab who's in PD. They've got to rotate this ball, and that's exactly what they do. It's up to Gilkey to try and at least get 1 kill. But they're going to kill Straightsick, and now Gilkey's in trouble.
Looks so Nick has no idea he was back there, though, and he's forced into a gunfight, and Druk will come out on top. But only for a moment as he gets immediately traded out. Barcode with ball in hands. Back tower. Trying to catch up once more. They've done this in round 1. They allowed Pioneers to get a really significant lead, but answered back in the mid-game. Are we about to see a similar story play out in front of our eyes?
Unfortunately for G2, Pioneers got that PD spawn, so Barcode's going to have to just fight for his life right now. And he's doing as much damage as possible. G2's taking a real long time to rotate from C to help Barcode out, but they did it just in time because 3 go down for Pioneers and a potential chance to get this ball and potentially the Rockets as well. That play worked out for G2. Perfect timing on their part.
Can you put these Rockets to use, though? First one is not going to have the desired effect. Straightsick has got the ball in Cafe and desperately trying to get away. They continue to score here. 63-30. They have dropped the ball now, are prioritizing having the gun in play. G2 down to just 2 members now. With Gilkey looking to get involved very quickly. Gets that kill. Sab playing that ball, bottom middle, looking to make the rotate. They want that C setup, but it's just not clear for them yet.
Sab's trying to get this ball all the way to the stairs. He does get it through. This is actually huge because 1 go down for KCP. So if they attempt to push, it's going to be a 3v4. And it looks like they are split on the map as well. If they can convert on this kill on SoulSnipe and then turn their attention to purple, this could be a lot of time and potentially a lead for G2.
It's almost a carbon copy of the realm we've seen previous. G2 have made that comeback once more. Pioneers just haven't been able to find a way to hold out and to continue that momentum that they had built up earlier in the round. G2 take the lead again. Will we see it? Will we get a 2-0 oddball lead for G2? And will they take the lead in the series for the first time?
Is this what your shot looks like when you play on 200 ping and then come to NA and you can just shred everybody? I mean, Barcode 25-20. Gilkey also having an incredible game himself, 24-19. This G2 squad is starting to come together. And they've got the last 2, I believe, Rockets in a row. So if they can get this next one, they potentially solidify this win. With only 33 seconds left in this game, Barcode's on a killing spree.
It's a killing spree and Rockets have popped up. The issue is they need to get a bit of ball time on the board, because time is very much going to be against them. 1:17 left in the clock. Barcode is now going to scoop it up before the ball had the opportunity to reset. This should mean G2 will take the lead. Can they hold on? Did they secure the Rockets? Straightsick has gotten the first pick. That's going to be pivotal now for their chances to win this round. Can Pioneers do what they couldn't before and break this setup?
They take so long to kill Straightsick there. As a 1v3, he gets 1. The other 2 take a long time to kill him. And because of that, there's only 5 seconds left and G2 will go up in the series 2-1. Incredible job by G2. An incredible job by Barcode and Gilkey and Sab and Straight Sick, all playing phenomenal in that game.
Boy, oh boy, hello. We've got a story and perhaps an upset on the cards. Now listen, I know G2 won the group, but Pioneers beat G2. Pioneers came into this with a top 4 seed, but now they find themselves one game away from being eliminated in the top 8 stage for the first time probably ever in Halo Infinite. They've been a top 6 team consistently, but G2 have made strides, they've made progress. Is this their moment?
That's what team changes do to you, right? If you're KCP, and of course G2 as well. G2 has a lot less practice from what I understand as well, but Pioneers look good. They look a lot better than they did in the beginning of this tournament, and they've definitely taken that, same approach that Coach Callis had mentioned. Learn from every game, get better with every game. We'll see if potentially Pioneers can bring this back, but right now, G2 are one game away from sending them home.
And talk to me, we've seen so many plays in that last game. We've seen beautiful performance out of Gilkey again after that. Again, slow game in game 1, but game 2 and 3, Gilkey has looked a different beast.
Yeah, Gilkey slang like he should be. I mean, like I said, I was a big fan of him in MCC Halo 3, and I understand Halo 3 is a very different game than this one, but a big play that stands out. And I love these plays, and Tony says it best. The plays that don't show up on the stat sheet is that last play by Straight Sick. Okay, they were doing a 3-man push on B Street. Straight Sick gets one by himself. It's a 1v3, and then hides or plays his life for like another 10 seconds while those 2 players are looking to finish the kill. Incredible job at the very end there by Straight Sick, and of course the entire G2 roster. There's so many plays that happened. We're not able to see all of them, but let me tell you, it came together when it mattered, and they ended up closing out that game.
On the other side of things for Pioneers, damage control, what did we do wrong? For Nick, the latest addition to this squad, after being traded for Manny, he finds himself with 30 kills on the board, 24 deaths and 6 assists, but not only on the losing end of the game, but they didn't win a single round, so they have got to dissect this and figure out what is wrong with their Oddball Streets gameplay, what can they do to improve. But there's no time to do that now, because game 4 is coming at you thick and fast, and it's Strongholds on Recharge. You speak about it, the mental's a huge thing. After game 2, momentum did see the shift back towards G2, and they're really starting to ride the wave.
Yeah, I never count Pioneers out, though. After I saw what I saw at Kansas City, of course, they did have the crowd behind them there. And of course, they are with a new member on their squad, which is Nick. I'll never count this squad out. It is not over till it's over. Now, when it comes to Stronghold, something very important is, and I know I keep bringing up his name. By the way, I love you, Coach Callis. Thanks for spending time talking to me. But one of the big things for me from Coach Callis is that Strongholds is actually their weakest game type, Jersey. So potentially this could swing, and potentially we might go to a game 5, or they've improved and they've gotten better at this.
Elsewhere, as we load into game 4, update on the floor in the trenches. E United have taken down FaZe. It is Ryan Newell that's had the last laugh. 3-1. FaZe are eliminated in the top 8 stage. Now on board with Nick as we focus again once more on Pioneers versus G2. Is this to be the moment for G2 to claim Pioneers? It will not matter if they won. If Pioneers won in group stage, it won't matter if G2 can do it here, but the worst possible start for G2, and Pioneers find the way to get G2 4 dead.
Yeah, we've known this, and we've known this for a long time. Pioneers are very strong at Strongholds, and like I said, G2 not very strong, still working on this. But maybe they've learned enough to make sure that they don't go down in this game. But you see Barcode at the bottom center of the map, a little bit staggered from his teammates, and Nick with that camo is going to get the double kill and the perfect. And that's exactly what you need if you're KCP.
BNC stay in control. The information that G2 reckon Strongholds is their worst game type. You just, in this league, with the caliber of players you play against, you cannot afford to have a bad game type. You have to be well versed on everything. You cannot have the Achilles heel, particularly when there's so many Strongholds game types. And KingNick with the shock rifle really going to work.
He's on a top position as well. He's holding this top position on A with a shock rifle. Pushing a little bit aggressive, though. He's got to be careful here. 3 of G2 are on the pipe side. But Nick holding this A side on this catwalk with one of the strongest weapons in the game is incredibly important, and he gets a killing spree.
KingNick just being able to stand still on his feet and find the shots. They don't even have to be headshots. His teammates doing work around him. Finds another body, and again, stabbed down to no shield. Trying to stay alive. Pioneers. They're firing all cylinders here. 3 dead for G2, 1 4, and threatening a triple cap now.
They're staggering those spawns, and they always end up in a 1v1. Sabs by himself gets the kill, but that's not always going to happen. And Gilkey died by himself on long haul. G2's going to get that A spawn so they can potentially push the advantage here on this B and contest it, and that's exactly what Sab does. And now he's got the sword and the shock rifle to work with.
Get himself out of dodge as well, but the issue is they got control of B and have now turned their attentions to A. What is Pioneer's response? Do they attack B here, or do they go for the A? Where do they smell blood? You see 2 players positioned over towards tower. That would give you an indication that A might be the hit here, and Barcode perhaps recognizing that, and the spider senses starting to tingle just a touch. There's a war going on over towards B. Gilkey's been the first pick, straight sick the second. Here is that A push. They smell blood in the water. It's a bait and switch. It's expert 3 go down for G2.
That's a huge bait and switch, but that's also a huge sword kill as well. Guess the trade there on to Nick. Nick's going to be a little bit staggered as Barcode and Sab come off respawn, and they're going to spawn onto C. Let's see if they can convert here, but once again, Straight Stick goes down, Barcode goes down. KCP are just so fast, and you've got to be prepared for it. They're going to be rotating much faster than you on these strongholds. You've got to cut them off on those rotations.
KCP just playing Slayer on the move here now. Once they have control, B and C again looking to get back involved with A. Straight Stick gets force pushed into no man's land. Shades of Lord Vader. Here goes Taulek as he tiptoes over towards A now. Tries to convert, and again they're going for the triple cap.
This is a stranglehold if I've ever seen one, and it just comes down to all these staggered deaths that are happening to this G2 roster. Again, Barcode dies by himself. No one's really got the angle to cover him. Gilkey did, but he's getting pushed as well. KCP are just all over. They're everywhere at this point, and it makes it just really hard to get any control. Even on A. Nick made that man one shot, gets the camo, and tries to toss it over to safety, but not going to be able to do so in time. G2's they've got to pick it up. They've got to pick it up in the Slays department. They've got to try and get at least 1 camo in this game so they can potentially turn the tide. Strongholds is a very swing game type. They can still come back.
You mentioned picking it up in the Slays category. Looking at Straight Stick, he's probably the one they need to call upon here. 3 kills, 2 assists, and 11 deaths. Playing a little bit too fast, giving away too many kills. As a result, making this task insurmountable, at least for the moment. They have got control of BC. They're starting to stabilize just a touch, but you feel like with the way Pioneers are playing, with the amount of pressure they're applying, it's only a matter of time before they win this game. But what can G2 do to respond here and not let it get to that point?
Like I said, just push together. Make sure that they're in twos. Right now, they're all on this side of the map on B and C. They've got angles on B as well, but they know the push is coming from that tower side. They've got to play their lives and perform a bait and switch just like Pioneers did in that last play. Bait and switch is so very important on this map. And it's up to Straight Stick here, 3 and 12. He knows he's better than this. He's got to step it up.
Bait and switch can also be called the shake and bake. Definitely isn't called a shake and bake, but maybe it could be if somebody wanted it to. I certainly do. B and C in control for G2 though. Starting to just make inroads. Just over that 100 point threshold. Starting to close that gap. This is much better from G2.
Yeah, and you see, it's much better, and then you just saw a killing spree on Sab's screen. Those two are not, they tie together for a reason. Sab putting in the work right now, and he's continuing to do so. Ooh. Another double. And they're going to get a potential triple cap here. They just got to watch for those spawns on C.
Straight Stick, we spoke about it. Needs to pick up in the Slayers category, but it's Sab who's actually taken that mantle all by himself. He's going to claim responsibility for putting Pioneers away here, putting the final nail in the coffin. Straight Sick currently on 5 and 13. Barcode 6 and 8. If they can pick it up here, then perhaps G2 will be punching their ticket to the next round to play Cloud9 and claiming a top 6 spot. And Pioneers, it looked comfortable, it looked too easy, and perhaps they've maybe felt that way, and that's opened the door for G2 to come back here.
Yeah, G2's just done a way better job of slaying, as you can clearly see from Sab, and also a way better job at rotating, but that was a big kill from Druk. That opens up things just a bit. It stops the momentum of Sab, which is what you need to do. He's 14 and 7. They did just that. Now it's up to Barcode to potentially stop this B-cap.
Straight Sick gets a kill. Former FFA god. That's where he made his name. Druk comes out on top in that fight, and how influential is that going to be? And after that, gets a trade. B and C remain in G2's control, but they go 3 dead. Barcode, the last player on his feet, waiting for his team to spawn back up, and it looks as though he's trying to convert A just to divert the attentions of Pioneers. It's been successful, but he's been eliminated. What did it cost? They continue to score to 181 and climbing to 144.
3 people from KCP are on A. The problem is they can't drop into B right now because all the angles are watched from that A catwalk and, of course, from that heaven and in the turbine. So they just got to play slow here and just try to get a pick. This Druk player up at the top of a very important power position needs to come off. They've got to send Barcode this way, get a slay onto him, potentially get this next camo, and then they can maintain this lead.
As we head into the late game, then the end game. It's 182 to 167. Slays are in G2's favor. Sab just needs to try and stay alive. Does so with the help of the repulsor. Gets himself out of there. Player down to no shields. Taulek, and when kills like that fall in your lap, is the tide starting to turn. 194. And perhaps a triple cap. It was in for a moment, but remote detonation for Straight Sick will ensure numbers advantage remain with G2. 202 and climbing for G2 Esports.
Love to see this out of Sab. He is heating up, and this is what you need in a teammate. If you're having a rough game because you're Straight Sick, you need a player to step up for you and get those slays, and Sab is doing exactly that. 19 and 9, and he's got a brand new shock rifle to work with.
A brand new pair of roller skates. Sab, the only player on G2 right now going positive in the KD spread, but they are winning the game. Questions have to be asked to Pioneers. What are we doing wrong when one player is having such a massive impact on this game? It's 238 to 167, and they continue to climb. Pioneers are on the ropes.
They just spent so much time trying to kill Sab there that the game slipped out of their hands, and G2 are gonna win the series 3-1 after losing in the best of 5 the last time these two matched. This is a new G2 than what we saw at the beginning of this tournament.
G2. The story of Barcode continues. They go to top 6, and Pioneers fall out for the first time in a very, very long time. Listen, we thought Pioneers were in trouble, but they showed shades of greatness again. But G2, with the addition of Barcode, everybody else seems to be revitalized by this change, and they are now a top 6 team.
Listen, it's the ability to step up when your teammate can't. Everyone has bad games. We're all human beings. Straight Sick had a rough game. Sab stepped it up. Like you said, Sab was the only one positive on that squad. The rest of the 3 were doing a lot of dirty work, but Sab stepped it up when needed, got the slays necessary. Incredible job by G2 to win on their very weakest game type.
And for Pioneers, it's misery. They'll reflect on this as maybe an opportunity that got away. After being clean and cruising at points, not only in game 1 where they won, but game 2, the Slayer game, that went against them, and then you have that oddball game where they're in both rounds, they went ahead by 40 seconds or so. But in the end, it is G2. They put the final nail in Pioneers' coffin. They send them over the top ropes, and they march on. Cloud9 is the next opponent. Will that be a task that's a little bit too high for them in their current state? Or can they go one better?